Hello, this is Algebra 2, topic 7-5, application of variations. Now in 7-4 we reviewed direct variation, inverse variation, and joint variation. Today we're going to use the same things but in word problems. So we're going to use the given information to write a function, solve for k in that function, and then use what we found to get the answer. So the amount of chlorine varies directly with the size of the swimming pool. Directly means that y equals kx. Now 5 units of chlorine are needed for 550 gallons of water. So I could either write this as 5 equals k times 550, or I could write this as 550 equals k times 5. Where the 550 is the water and the 5 is the chlorine. Well, this is going to be a little bit easier because I can divide by 5 a lot easier than I can divide by 550. So we're not using this one, we're going to use this one. Divide both sides by 5, and we get that 110 equals k. Well, now we want to find out for 850 gallons of water. Well, I put the 850 on the equal sign, so, and we know that k is 110, and we're going to go ahead and use C for chlorine. Well, this is simple enough. We just divide by 110, and 850 divided by 110 is 7.72 repeating. Just so you can see it in the calculator, 850 divided by 110 is 7.72, and the 7 and 2 repeat forever. So that's how much chlorine would be needed. Let's go ahead and look at question number 2. Now the time required to travel a given distance varies inversely as the speed of travel. Well, inversely means that as one goes up, the other goes down. So we're looking at y equals k divided by x. Because the faster we go, the shorter the time it takes to get there. So, we have 3.6 hours and 70 kilometers per hour. So we have time and speed. Well, I can write that 3.6 equals k over 70, or that 70 equals k over 3.6. And it really doesn't matter because we're multiplying either way. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. We're going to multiply both sides by 70. So those cancel out, and then we get that k equals 3.6 times 70 is 252. So this is the speed. This is the time. And this is the speed. So now we're given a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. So the time equals 252 divided by 90, because this is our speed. Well, 252 divided by 90 is 2.8. So the time is 2.8 hours. Let's go ahead and look at number 3. Here we have the power in watts of electric current varies jointly as the resistance of current as the resistance in the square of the current. So for a 600 watt microwave oven that draws a current of 5.0 amps, the resistance is 24 ohms. So watts of resistance and current. So this means that the watts equals, jointly means that basically that we're going to do our amps, our resistance, the resistance, and the square of the current. That would be RC squared. So 600 equals 5, and then we have a constant K. K times my resistance is 24. My current is 5, and I square that. So 24 times 5 squared is 600. So 600 equals K times 600. So K must equal 1. Well, that came out really nice. So now we're given 200 watts and 1 amp. So the 200 watts equals, well, my resistance is what I want to know. My amps is something they gave me, and we square that. So 1.7 squared makes 2.89. So 200 equals R times 2.89. Divide by 2.89. And we get that R is roughly equal to 69.2. And here's the work in the calculator. The 24 times 5 squared gave us 600. That's what we got here. 1.7 squared was 2.89. We divided 200 by 2.89. We got 69.20. We're just going to call that 2. And now for our last example, example number 4. Illumination in luxes varies inversely with the square of the distance from the light source to the surface. So that means that y equals k over x squared, because it varies inversely with the square of the distance. So the light source being 7.5 meters equals some number divided by, luxes inversely with the light source. And the distance is what's squared. So the distance goes here. .5 squared. And my luxes go over here. So we double check it. Our luxes inverse, so we have k divided by something. The square of the distance, so we have our distance squared, and then our luxes. So now we go ahead and figure this out. We do 7.5 squared, and we get 56.25. So 24 equals k divided by 56.25. We multiply that by 24. We get that 1,350 equals k. Well, now we have 15 meters. Well, our distance was a squared one, so our luxes equal 1,350 divided by our 15 squared. Well, 15 squared is 225. So our luxes equal 1,350 divided by 225, which is 6. So our luxes equal 6. And so that's the examples. It's just a matter of pulling the information out, double checking how you plug it in, solve for k, and then, once you know k, plug it back in again to solve for what it's asking for. Good luck and have a good day.